Our Sports Frenzy podcast, guys. I'm your host, Josh, and today we have a very special guest with us. That's JD from all the way from Belgium, but he's Jamaican. And I'm going to have him introduce herself. It was brought here by Dima. So big up to Dima, one of our resident alumnis. I'm going to have him introduce herself. It was we talk about the Costa Cup. Um, um, for this podcast. We look at the four teams, we look at the performances. We also look at the overall season, right? Whether that be performance, whether that be the standard of the fields, any surprising teams, because we know that the Costa Cup has more teams than even the Manning Cup. So from time to time, you will see a few surprises, especially from the southern part of the country, right? So like Clarendon this year with Edwin Allen and Central High. So we have few surprises this year. We talk about the referee decisions as well as the so we have few surprises as well as other things concerning the on-field decisions and so forth. So JD, welcome to our show. First time on Sports Frenzy. Big up, and JD's also from I'm Maxit Football. Did I get the pronunciation correct?
Yes, you got it
Yeah,
right.
that's
Yes,
I'm
thanks,
Maxit
thanks for having
Football.
me. Sorry about that. I went out because I was trying to close the secondary screen, so sometimes the technology plays up. Yes, man. Thanks for having me. Yep. I'm from Jamaica. Yes, a lot of my commenters always said I'm Asian, I'm Surinamese, Belgian, everything, but I'm from Jamaica. Yes, and I'm definitely enjoying the schoolboy football because I'm here to try my best to identify some of these talents because I've always heard that we definitely have some serious talents that can go overseas and improved with better structure. So that's why I'm pretty much here to analyze some of these players and the team overall because I realize Jamaica definitely took the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup serious. Remember, I'm from town, so I never really knew much because I played Manning Cup St. Andrew Technical, but I never really knew much in terms of how serious people truly take football world nationwide. But definitely now I'm seeing it for myself, and I realize that these people really love schoolboy football than even a national team.
Yeah,
So I'm
and not
impressed.
just that too, but there's always this thing that the Costa Cup, right? Fan support
Hmm.
generally across the schools are more than even the Kingston schools. Yeah,
Okay,
there's
man. Well,
always this thing from over the years because they're very well supported in country. Trust me. When the team is not that good, they will get the support from the various towns and across the island. So um good that we can have a Kingstonian talking about country. That was
yes. And I think they took things personal because the last time I said Cornwall College, but
yeah,
I meant CC, and it's Clarendon College. I like 15, 20 subscribers. They're upset with me every day they come in. Do you
yeah.
learn Cornwall College from the difference between Cornwall? Take time. I'm learning because I'm here to assess football. I never knew that I needed to make sure I get all the 100,000 schools names correct. But
Yeah.
in the end, it worked out because they
Yeah,
realized
it
that I'm
will work out. And in that case, I think both set of supporters call themselves CC at times.
oh,
So yeah,
okay,
because I have
perfect.
Cornwall friends that's a CC, I have Clarendon College friends that's a CC. So it's always just confusing.
All right, then I'm going to use that back at them because you are from the country areas, right?
Yeah, I'm from
You're
Manchester.
telling me that both of them call themselves
Yeah, both
CC.
of them.
All
Both of
right.
them
Thank
call
you very
themselves
much. I
CC,
am
right?
going to use you as security.
Yeah, so yeah, you can use me as security, trust me. So we talk about the Costa Cup competition for this year. What you make of the overall season thus far?
I came in because obviously I know Richie and Mr. Butler, and definitely I've heard about this kid from a while back. So I said, okay, I'm going to definitely try and watch this kid in Manning Cup because I thought he would have dominated Manning Cup based on what I know about football and the difference in level of training. So once you get exposed to overseas and you're a true talent of a region, I think you're going to excel over the top. So I came here to see the exorcist. Um, the exercise that Mr. Whisper will be doing on the Jamaican level football, and that's what I came here for, you know. But after that, a few of the commenters said, that, JD, why are you not doing Dakasta? It's why you guys always favored the Kingstonian teams, and I said, okay, no problem. Just send me the games because I'm in Belgium and I don't know how to find these games. So a lot of people came up in the Discord, sent me the link for the games, and then we start checking out the teams. And I start to write down things, the names, formation, schools, everything, and really get it together. And I'm sad to say for most of my Kingstonian, but I'm pretty much impressed by the normal fundamentals that the country schools, so-called country schools, has. And I think if I'm going to go with the tougher bracket, I would say the Dakasta Cup has the better teams and the more challenging competition, at least for this season. So I'm impressed with the school football overall, though.
Yeah, so this season you said that you're very impressed. So what about the level of discipline that you're seeing from the schools in terms of on the field, whether regard a lot of red cards, yellow cards, or ineligible of players? What to think about the overall discipline regarding the teams in the Costa Cup this season?
All right, not just the Costa Cup, but let me just go back to my time. My time, obviously, it's a society thing. Yes. So my time, knowing Manning Cup and also other leagues, the Major League, Super League, and even the Simbartlet at that time, when we were pretty much 16, so it's still the Manning Cup phase. I thought we had a lot of indisciplined personnels. So comparable to that time, and maybe even going back to Chinsu's them time and stuff, I thought that it's much more orderly. I think they are doing a good job, Issa, and those guys doing a better job this time around. I like the way how people conducting themselves. Obviously, I saw from time to time people, some personnels want to flash out, like want to fling an elbow or stuff. But obviously, you know it's going to come from time to time. But I can say that I think it's a clean football this time around. I think it's much more attractable on the eyes from personnels overseas. So I think they are doing a very good job. I'm pretty much impressed. I like it a lot more
Okay,
than.
good. Yeah, I agree too. I think that the season's run actually very, very smooth, and persons in Jamaica could actually vote for ISA for the best performing sport organization. Trust me.
Yes, they are better than the Reggae Boys.
Yeah, they're
Yes.
better than the JFF and all.
Oh
I don't
yes, the
know.
JFF. They are better than anybody
Yeah,
that runs
they
Reggae
need to
Boys
be
and
voted
all
as
of
the
those
best for real,
things. Yes.
right? Because it's not easy. As you mentioned earlier on, there's always this difficulty with games within the Costa Cup, and it's
Mm-hmm.
understandable because it covers 12 parishes, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the majority of those parishes are the biggest in the country. So the geographical location, the roads and everything, and the way how ISA organize these competitions, especially in the rural area, is very, very commendable. So I agree with you 100%. This season, though, what surprises you the most regarding any new teams or any what was the biggest surprise for you regarding any schools this season performance overall?
Bef- Before I've touched on the difficulties in the competition, and that's what I like a little bit more because I don't like the one-sided dominance. I like when a team has to work and say, all right, then because what happens when it's more difficult, you will see players IQ, you will see coaches plans and stuff, and that's what I wanted to see as well. So that's why maybe I gravitated to the Dakar Cup a little bit more. So, anyways, you have last year champion, which is Gavi Masia. They pretty much couldn't come out of the second round. They came last in the second round. Then you have Glenmuir, one of the better looking teams, turn up on the day, just needed to just win the damn game or pretty much draw the game, and you win. All right, you
Yeah,
qualify. They ended up out of the competition. So if you don't plan ahead structurally, you're not going to get out of the group. So I want to say that the difficulties on the side, I do love it a little bit more because it brings out much more IQ points from both coaches and players. That's what I would say, and that's what I was impressed with most. Teams that I would say really surprised me this time around. Dintil, they dropped out. but Dintil's playing style, I've heard that we had low coaching skills in the country, but Dintil playing style and how they sustained most of their attacks, I want to say that the coach for that team doing a good job. Obviously, they never won yesterday against CC, which CC I will go on it because I think they are one of the best teams that I saw completely in all competition, if not the entire Jamaica. Yes, in every single competition. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, so Dintil, I was impressed with them the way they actually dissected CC to certain points and get the ball inside the 6 yard box. The way they work it and the structural plan coming from them, I like that. But when it comes on to CC now, CC is a team that I am sold on most. Their organization, their full disciplined and their command actions towards drop in pockets. If you do coaching or anything, you know what I'm talking about. The isolated pockets and the channels, they definitely worked. And their composure, man, their composure is next to none inside the football because I try to put things in context. And we're just talking about Jamaican football, but the composure from them, man, is very, very good. So I'm impressed with them. And the final team that I'm impressed with would be Manchester.
Yeah,
Manchester.
that's my school people. Yes, see, I'm in Manchester. So.
He didn't even give me a chance to talk about this. He
Yeah,
said
that's
that's
my school.
right.
Yeah, I wanted to leave my school last, but you can go ahead.
Okay, so Manchester made it to the semi-finals, and I truly believe that they're going to make it to the finals. No disrespect to Central, but I think what the Manchester personnel is doing, I want to say that they might be further in their development than even Central. All right, maybe they don't have the skilless players, but their organization and coaching with size. With size, because sometimes you can't beat size, and they seem to have a big physical team. You get me? They have the fundamentals, but their size really match up with all of the better teams. Because I saw Mannings, obviously people come and tell me that, oh yo, they made 4 changes, 65 changes. It doesn't matter which team Mannings put on that field, they weren't going to win it. And why would you put a team on the field that won't win the game? I'm just asking about back a question, a rhetorical question. Because look, the difference is playing CC or Central.
Exactly, because
Why
I was
would you
wondering,
put a weaken team? No, anyone brings this to you, my brother, just ask them why would you put a weaken team to face CC?
that's true. Because someone made that same point in one of our sporting groups that Mannings played a weakened team. So I was asking, but they know that had they lost that game, right, they would have played CC, who was the clear favorites for the competition, and not just for the Dakar Cup competition, but overall, all in
Mm-hmm.
this football competition, the Super Cup, Oliver Shields. I was asking the person, why would they try to avoid why would they try to play a weakened team and then play CC in the semifinals? That don't make any sense, right? Because you would
Mm-hmm.
want to avoid actually playing CC, and it will be a case of, yeah, if we avoid CC, then we can make it to the finals. So that point did not make any sense for you. I agree 100%.
Yes, I saw people inside the comment section. Ricardo Robinson, Chester not passing semis. Any other day, Manning's winning. All right. Well, I think that day that came yesterday, I am telling you, Mr. Ricardo, maybe you're in your feelings, but I am
Yeah,
assessing.
Ricardo is in his feelings. You know why Ricardo is in his feelings? I think this is the
Mr.
same
Manning's
Ricardo Robinson, who's a
okay.
supporter of Stets. And Stets and Chester have
Oh,
that rivalry, right?
okay, okay.
That
Well,
they
Ricardo,
like each other.
anybody that makes a betting odds and they don't put Manchester as the favorites over Central, I think they are just lying to themselves, and I think you're lying to yourselves. This is how bad it was, Josh. It could have literally be 10-0, 10-1, 10-1. It's only one chance they actually created in the game. And it was not even a chance. It was not even a half chance. It's just because the player, the central defensive midfielder, thought that the player were pretty much outside around 24 yards out. So he never expected him to kick it and get that looping shot over to put it in the V. All right. So that's the only reason why. I remember I am a Kingstonian and I'm just telling you the truth, you know. The
Right.
Manchester
So he's
team
objective
was
people. He's a
better.
Kingstonian.
The
So you think
Manchester team was better, and based on footballing logics, I think even if you put on all your players, them that you guys told me, you bring a rap sheet, give it to me. Oh, these are the best players. These they would have made this. No, the guys them dominated the midfield. All right, and then they exploited the wing areas. They're faster and stronger than anybody Mannings could have picked and put on the field. You cannot defy logics and physics. So I'm very sorry, Mr. Ricardo. That is the wrong person you're going up against. It's not going to work. All right.
and guess what? Guess what was remarkable about Manchester High, the great Manchester High School, is that their coaches they are not professional coaches, right? Because Vassar Reynolds was supposed to be the coach for this season, but then he went overseas according to my understanding, and then he did not came back in time. So what
Mm-hmm.
Manchester High had to do was to get two of the subject teachers, right? One of them teach
Mm-hmm.
maths, Mr. Jason. Yeah, he worked with the PE department. He also teach maths at the school. They are the ones that are actually coaching this team. So they don't
Ooh.
really have a professional coach at Manchester High and this is the first for a long time they haven't had one, and they have reached thus far, surpassing most people expectation this season. Right? And do you know of the player, one of their star player by the name of Garrick Carnegie?
Yes, I heard about
Yeah,
the but one thing I have to tell Manchester, because just as though I can praise them, I can call them out. You have
yeah.
a number 11 on the field. Someone need to teach him how to stay onside. If it wasn't, if he could have just stayed onside, Ricardo Robinson would never have attacked because he would have scored 6 goals yesterday alone. Yesterday alone, and I'm not talking about assisting, just scoring. He had 6 chances, clear chances, last chances, one and one, and he's looking face to the passer. And those are the easiest ways to stay onside, and he couldn't stay onside. So if he could have just done better, you wouldn't have Robinson out here talking. You would have been hiding at this point because
Yeah,
they
he would
would have
have
gotten like 8-9-1. So
right.
Ricardo,
You know,
stop.
Ricardo,
Go and
he would
watch
be
the game.
hiding.
Go
Yeah,
and watch
don't
the
watch
game,
the game. Yeah.
Ricardo.
Ricardo,
All right.
Ricardo is just being biased because he's a Stets fan. But I see somebody. Yeah, I was saying some earlier that big up Carnegie, good player. He's one of those players in the Costa Cup that has been the most outstanding this season. I've seen the same person, Vivian Alexander, talking about Manchester number 10. Him are the killer. If you can lock him down, then you can lock down the whole
Yes.
team. Do you agree with that?
Yes. Manchester number 10. He was the one creating the chances for the number 11. You
Right.
know, because every single time what he does is he peel off to the left side just to open the entire midfield. But just if you're going to give the Manchester number 10 credit, you have to give the defensive central the credit as well because he's the one that's shielding and give him the comfort to go outside in the isolated pockets. You get me? So I think both of them work together rather than saying that the number 10 because you don't in football we tend to especially in Jamaica because
Yeah.
true we're all about the all action we tend
Right.
to we tend to always missing out the overall package. If the guy don't block the hole right there, you're gonna have personals advancing. It's 11v11. So not one player do his job. Even Kevin De Bruyne and all of those guys, they are people. Radri or Gundogan actually always be in positions for him to feel comfortable to
Yeah,
move
that's
ahead.
true.
So I would give the defensive central equal credit as the number 10 because the number 10 is the one that passes the ball. So he's the finesse player. But you have to talk about the enforcer as well. And I talked about their size and strength. So I want to give their midfield dictator or dominator more credit there. I think they're just working as a team. But I can see where people would say the number 10 is top shelf. I could
And
see that.
that point that you make is actually a very good point because as I talk about Kevin De Bruyne, right? Some of
Mm-hmm.
these players that plays for the club, right? Because of the system that they play in or the players around them, they're
Mm-hmm.
able to even dominate much better. But when they go for their international team, some of those teams don't have the same caliber of players, so you don't get that same effect, right? That you some person would think that it's only one person can actually bring that side forward, just like in our comment saying that is number 10. Look, once you lock him down, then
Yes.
basically you lock down the entire team. But
I
that's
think that is
always not
based
a
on our
good point,
culture.
as you
No,
were saying.
No, you have to understand. It's just based off our culture. We just
Yeah.
always in the end result. That's why we support Usain Bolt, Ilian Thompson, and all of those people when they reached their peak, not before. Because they don't care about that. They're just into the final stage. So the passer and the scorer, those are the ones that always get the credit. So that's why it takes personnel that analyze the game to come and give other people credit. And that's why sometimes you will get a man of the match and you're saying, oh, the next man have 3 goals or 2 assists. But yet still it's the next man get the man of the match because he had 3 clearances, blocked the lane around 4 or 5 times, and that's what led to the counter attack and the big chance creation. Without him, the next creator wouldn't get the ball. So he's the most important personnel in that pattern, that sequence of play. And these are the things that people don't really look at when they're assessing games.
Yes, and Ricardo, we actually debunked that point earlier on regarding I watched the game and Mannings were not cleaning up themselves. Ricardo, we debunked that earlier on because there's no sense that Mannings would go out and not clean up themselves, knowing fully well that they would play CC in the semifinals. There's no logic to that.
All right, then, Ricardo, it's either or either. What I would say, Ricardo, is to say that if that's your take and they weren't killing up themselves, you know what you need to do? Fire your coach. Go and fire your coach because clearly your coach would know that Manning's CC is the biggest team in the entire tournament, right? And he wrongly judged that you don't necessarily need the best team in order to face Manchester. And then Manchester show you up that you need to come with the A game in order to defeat them. So it's either or either, Ricardo Robinson. It's okay. It's okay. Maybe they did underestimate them, but you had an entire 90 minutes to figure it out because it took 50 minutes for you to be under at least 3-4-0. So you clearly realized that it weren't going good. So unless you're just not good enough as a coach, are your eyeballs them just not working? Because we could have seen that from very early in the game. So it's okay, Ricardo. It's okay. But I think you in yourself know that. But
Yeah,
we
he
had
knows
heard
it.
that you're from the opponent. All right. Yes.
So JD, next question I want to ask you, right? Two of the most surprising teams this season, right? I want to look at both of them. The first one is Central High. I think they probably is the most surprising out of the lot regarding this season for most persons.
Hmm.
A lot of persons are wondering where Central High come from. Basically, they're from Clarendon, but they just like to some people they just appear out of the blues playing football so good. What you make of them this season?
Central now. I think they are very organized, and that's the good thing. If you have organized, if you have an organized team, and you take the instruction throughout the game, in-game instructions, I tend to think that you're going to go places, but you still have to have the quality. All right, and I do believe that they have quality players. All right, yes, but maybe not in abundance as the others. So that's why they seem to struggle. Remember in this final game, they came in with no point, and obviously even on my show, you had a guy named Jason saying that he thinks that Central can take William Nib, and because of the situation of CC taking on Dintil, Central still has a chance to go through because we were checking up every single thing, so we never really rule it out. And the way Central played this year, I don't think it was a surprise them making it through. To be honest, you expect them to come and be organized, hard to break down, and then pounce and attack. I do believe that they have some serious quality there. You get me? They have some serious quality
Say
there.
more cinema thought. Yeah, go ahead.
And I think their coaching is one of the biggest plus point for them. Their coaching, the biggest plus point. And what I've learned with most of these teams, which I'm pretty much surprised, most of them have like academies connected to their teams. So when we're seeing these players,
Right. Yeah, that's true.
it's not like there are some schoolboys that just pop up and just come in to play football. Some of them literally coming from academies and they're playing close to the Premier League and all of those stuff. So yeah, it's hard to just say, oh, they came out of the blue. None of these teams are coming out of no blue. They're big time footballers inside the country. They just need a coach to put it together. And I think that's the same thing coming with Central. They just don't have as much as the CC and the others, but yet still their coach, and they do work on off of the discipline path, and that's how they deemed the success here. They just come in, make sure they can't be scored on, and try and counter attack, and then when they are in the advantageous advantageous position, then they take the advantage, and that's what they did with Edwin Allen yesterday, and fully deserved to win, and should have even done one by more, because I went back and watched the game separate. And they should have even won the game by more. They fully deserve to go through, and big up to them.
So you see, basically, you see Central as more of a pragmatic or defensive team within the competition this year. Seems they mostly focus on that aspect, hard to break down.
All right. Uh, Remember, I've said it to you, you have teams that has more superstars on it, and sometimes at the lower tier, yes, the quality kind of overshadowed sometimes coaching and less quality. You understand me? So them being pragmatic there, I think it's kind of sensible. You understand me? Because sometimes at the biggest
Yeah,
level, being pragmatic actually win, because look
yeah,
at
that's true.
France World Cup. France go up against Belgium and they never wanted to play football. It's just cancelling out them and Mbappe. Just cancelling out everybody and Mbappe. So I just believe that Central was a team that they are pretty much educated towards the situation, the scenario, and they went out and do a job. But I do believe that they are not so pragmatic. I would give them like 20%. But when they have to go there and play football, they can play football. And that makes them even more scary, because that makes them a little bit more educated. I want to force education more than the rest. So I want to say they're a good team, but 20% pragmatic.
Yeah. So you're basically saying that they play to their strength. Like some teams internationally, like whatever talent they have, they try to play to their strength. So regarding
Yes.
whether they take a pragmatic approach or a defensive counter-attack approach or just play like tiki-taka or total football. So basically you're saying they play to their strength and there's nothing wrong with
Yeah.
that.
And that can make them a dangerous team in the
Right.
future. You know why? Because they are trying to figure the way to get it done and build themselves up. Just so you don't truly see what their identity is at this point. You understand me? So imagine if they had not used their identity and reached this far. Imagine when they come out of their shell, they're going to be even better.
That's true. I agree with that. The next team, surprising team for many persons was Edwin Allen. What you made of them? Even though they're out now, but what you made of them this season?
Edwin Allen, that is my adopted team inside, because clearly because they said Holland, they thought I pronounced it Allen, Edwin Allen, which makes no sense. They're just lying. That's how my chat stays. They're just lying, because I'm
Oh,
telling them that.
they were trying to troll you.
Yes, 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 yes. So I adapted that team. I thought that you're an organized team, but the problem is, in the first set of games, like the group stage, you don't get to truly see how good these teams are, because William Nib, they barely conceded any goal until the second round start to come up, and it's really turn up to be the crunch time. So Edwin Allen was one of those teams that pretty much walk through the first round, and you're saying that okay, this is a good team that can build up and stuff, and they keep their organization and shape. But I don't believe that their ability to sustain presses were good enough. You get me? And that dropped them back into a low block a lot of times when people start pressing them. You get me? So
Yeah.
even in the central game when I watched it, they came forward from time to time. But once they got caught out in midfield, they sit back, they drop back too deep and can't rise fast enough. So that makes a team that is pragmatic then in this situation say, okay, you're not going to come back fast enough. You're not going to attack us fast enough. So that means we can just barricade the midfield and then make our fullbacks advance a little bit higher so we can close it in and get something out of the game. So I want to say, Edwin Allen, this is a learning lesson for them. It clearly looked like they weren't the more educated team coming into this one. Not saying they're not an educated school now. Let me put it in context. Just the football analysis. They weren't more informed about the central team and most of the teams that they got caught trouble with. You get me? Yes. So they just need to go back and improve themselves overall and come next season or in the cups.
And I see someone in our comment section earlier on saying, Clarendon is the football parish. They have CC, they have Edwin Allen, they have Central Eye, they have Glenmuir. It seems to be that parish where most of the talents are coming from. You agree with that? The high
Yes,
school
clearly.
level?
Yes, clear. No, not if it's going to be at the high school level, you have to
Yeah,
say it's at the level in Jamaica, because
yeah.
clearly I've watched the Manning Cup, I've watched the JPL teams, and I know the inner workings and how people get to places. So if you're going to come out at high school level, more likely you're going to be the parish of the main input, towards Jamaica's football. Yes, I do agree on that one for
And
sure.
what are your thoughts on a lot of persons are expecting your castle to be a force to reckon with next season and years to come because they're saying that the coach of York Castle, right,
Hmm.
plays a big part at the academy. That's Mount Pleasant Academy.
One place, yes, yes.
He's one of the directors at Mount Pleasant Academy, right? So
Mhm.
they're actually saying that he's likely to bring players from the academy at Mount Pleasant into incorporate them into York Castle High School, like Craig Butler did with
Craig
Phoenix
Butler,
and
yeah,
Mona
Craig Butler, and others, not just Craig Butler, but
and
others
others,
as well.
right?
Yes,
So
others.
are
A
you
lot.
looking for York Castle to be that force everyone is expecting?
Yes, yeah, Yarcastle was a team that I really loved. The way they play football, expansive. They played CC, and the condition was not the best. And to be honest, even my reports on that one, they actually they lost the game to CC, but they adapted to the condition a little bit better than CC. And people, they were confused. Like, what am I saying? I'm saying no. CC has the better players, and the players that are further in their development at this point, clearly in the size. Yarcastle have 12-year-old, 0-year-old, 0-year-old on the field. Tiny human beings. You understand me? But their football fundamentals just look good. And the way, the speed, and the movements of the players, they are good at this young age to be bringing on some 13-year-olds, and they don't look out of place. I thought that Yarcastle played in that condition a little bit even better than Dintil, to be honest, against CC. Yes, but
And
obviously the
it's a big
condition
part.
played a big part. But you can say Yarcastle is a passing swashbuckles type of team, so it actually the condition would have affected them too. But the fact that they're adapting only goes to show that with more time and development at the academy that you talked about, and they're going to come back in not for the future. Obviously, next year is the future, but the immediate
Yeah.
future next year, Yarcastle will be one of the best teams in the Manning Cup.
And a
They are
force to
going to
reckon
be,
with.
yes, instant. I think they are a nice team to watch. Them and Dintil is the two most exciting team until I still think they are the two most exciting team, to be honest.
And on
Manchester,
that premise,
if the number 11, if you're watching this number 11, if you can score a goal, Manchester would be up there in the excitement.
I'm sure there will be. And on that premise, right? Would you therefore say that for our local football development, right?
Hmm.
That is the way to go regarding the schools actually incorporating an academy, right, of players. Do you think that's the way to go, or you think that's just too much?
Um,
Lack of resources. So if you meaning that if so many schools are doing it, right, then the resources won't be spread evenly, or there won't be much resources. But you want to kind of narrow it down to just few academies. But it seems that most schools are trying to create this academy of football where they're trying to win the competitions, these local football competitions. Do you agree that's the way to go, or are you differ?
all right, you said two things. You said which I just talked about Jamaica's culture, and it's the
Right.
end result of wanting to win things. So the schoolboy football should be a route of development. Clearly, if you take all the best players and put on one team, it's not so much about development, because development has to do with competition as well. You can't just train, and go outside and don't play nobody and develop anywhere. You're
That's true.
just going out there playing 35% of what you have learned. You can't develop. You have to go over 65% and more. So, in a sense, I would love to say that, okay, you're training and you're going to get the cohesion via being at the same academy and come to the same school. But if you weaken the competition over there, I don't think you would learn so much. So, like for instance, the Manning Cup. You have to pretty much wait until the semi-finals, the last round of the last round of the second round in a quarterfinals, in order for you to start get some tests. So you don't learn so much as how you learn in the rural, the country areas. Then, as what people would say, and that's because of the talent not being one place. It rather go, or
Spread out,
it rather
right?
spread out. All right, so I would say that they are trying to win games, and because of they are trying to win games, I think I changed my take on it to say that no, keep other schools, keep other players spread out, so at least you can get more competition. All right, so at least people can still learn via when you guys want to win games, all right, and win trophies. At least people can still educate themselves, because education in football comes through challenges. You have to think your way out through it on the field, not on a blackboard or something. You have to put it in action. And I want to think that the more competition, you can put it in action. So I would say no, based off the fact that they want to win things. But if they never wanted to win things and it's a development thing, then I could say, all right, then let me put 3 over here and 5 over here and stuff, because just give the bigger teams the slight advantage and give them it, because as what people brought to my attention, they can get them to colleges and stuff. So some benefits is there, but still keep 2 over here to balance the status quo, so you can get more challenging games, so that can aid their development. So it's a yes and a no, but more of a 60% no and 40% yes, based on the scenarios.
Okay. The next school that I want to look at, that's in the semi-finals of the Doncaster Cup. We have looked at two already, Central and Manchester. Is Mannings. What you make of them and their semi-final coming up?
Oh Lord, oh Lord. All right.
Mannings from
So
the
Manning's
West.
Manning's clearly I am not so high on Manning's from day one. As what obviously when you have more fans, you tend to get more eyeballs on the school, obviously, and more people talk, and you don't get the right assessment of them. I think they are a good team and deserving their place in the final four, yes. But I still don't. I saw Manchester from before, and I never thought that they were better than Manchester. I even thought that Glenmuir would have given Mannings true trouble from early out. From early out, I said Glenmuir would have given them true trouble. So I was not the highest on them, but
And
I'm not
actually,
saying
you're
they're a bad team. And I don't want people to take this as me I'm fighting against Mannings, but I just
Mannings.
never saw them as the team what people thought they
We're
were,
here
and
because
clearly exposed with Manchester.
and you're and on that point too, not trying to cut you, but most persons actually had Mannings to beat Manchester, right? Most persons would have think that it would be a Clarendon College versus Mannings final. So you're probably one of those few persons that did not saw that.
No man,
Uh,
if you go on my channel, man, if you go on the preview today,
yeah.
other people in the chat saying no man, Manchester will turn up, man, because people, that's what I'm saying. When you have a lot of fans, you're gonna get a fan reaction. But when you have people trying to analyze the game and looking at the players, they're going to say no, 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 no. Manning's not going to go and walk over Manchester. It's not going to work that way. It doesn't matter which team they do put out there. Yes, because they are coming off beating from by 6, so clearly they will get an eye off that, and they might be the favorites going in. But I don't necessarily think that they are going to be the outright favorites, and Manchester won't do anything. I never saw it like that. So with them taking off their 2 players as what people identified, it only make it significantly worse. And the balance shift on one side. So it's just the truth, guys. Manning's good team always come around and do good business. But I think that Manchester catch up with them this year, at least for this year.
Okay, and our final team, the big favorites, the clear
Mhm.
favorites for the Costa Cup. They are saying that this school is the Barcelona schoolboy football team of Jamaica. Yeah, yeah, man. Yeah, we have a lot of persons say they are the Barcelona schoolboy football team of the island. They are the favorites for Super Cup and they're favorites for Oliver Shea. So actually, they're favorites to take 3 trophies that they did I think couple seasons ago. What you make of this Clarendon College and the fact that they are dubbed the Barcelona schoolboy football team of Jamaica.
I wouldn't say they're the Barcelona because the first thing I know that they never meant the personalities on the
Yeah,
field. They were talking about just the
how they play.
dominance. Yeah, the
Yeah,
dominance. No, I don't even think how they played. I think it's the dominance because yesterday against Dintil, what they did, they sit back and took Dintil's punches. So it's like they are playing a psychological game on them. So when you bring your best, you saw that we took the ball away from you and take our time strategically, find the channels and put the ball there. So we're not going to let you force us to play any sorts of game. And so I wouldn't say that, and the size of the players would not match Barcelona, but I understand when it comes down to the dominance. Yes, they are the best playing team so far. The intensity that they do play at, the reaction time, that they are not scared of to face. In terms of coaching and stuff, I think that they are the best team by a good stretch. If they can play their best game, how they do play, like what we saw yesterday, I don't think anybody match them. Not even KC or JC, because I do tip JC and KC the best team on the other end. I don't think they are going to come close to them. They are very much educated and they are very fit, and that is something that no one talks about in the competition itself. If you're
that's true.
organized, you're very fit and you're very well educated, and don't disrespect other teams. You literally go and do your homework, the coach and also the players them, and you stick to the game plan. And you have the best players them as well. I think hiccups hiccups are very few and far to happen, you know? And I thought their hiccup came in the Yarcastle game in which they still won. So and the condition aided that. So I want to say that yes, it's possible that they could win all three trophies. Definitely, if JC makes it straight to the finals. No, if they do beat JC, I think JC could pose them a little bit more problems than any other team.
Oh, then
But
KC.
yes, I think JC is a little bit. I would respect JC a little bit more. I know people just go off KC because KC and Whisper, and obviously our cultural problem, which is just the end product and the hype, we tend to run off. I want to think a JC would give them the better game more than anyone else. If they meet Mona, they're gonna destroy Mona.
So
Yeah.
you think the way our CC playing, right? Yeah, obviously they have talents, but do you think that come down to the coaching of Lenny Hyde, who's regarded as one of the best coaches in the island, if not the best schoolboy football coach?
Yes, I think what because the other day I read an article on my channel, and you know what he's saying? When you have other people hyping up the KC players them, and when you hear the KC players them talk, some of them are not humble. When you hear the Mona players them talk, some of them are not humble. They are using the word humble in their statement, but they are not humble. You understand me? You can see by their demeanor that they are not a humble person. You understand me? I can clearly see that the coach Lenny Hyde, that's what you said. He's literally trying to instill his way in these guys to go forward and the way out to win games and the way out to develop. You get me? Yes, you can see it's rubbing off from him because he's educating them, not just football, but in life to be better human beings. That's what I got through him speaking as well. So I do respect the man, and I think that him making a big difference. All right. And I don't want to go on the next controversial side, but I think some coaches kind of cast them teams sometimes because they are not developing the players them to be better human beings. They are trying to develop the players them to be exactly as themselves. And that is a problem. Yes. Not gonna call any name.
Yeah, would that be one of the teams in the Manning Cup? But you don't want to
Yes.
call it.
Yes.
I know which team we're talking.
Yes. Yes. In the Manning Cup. Yes.
Yeah, in the Manning Cup. I know exactly which team we're talking. I see that we have over 30 persons live and persons in our chat. So guys, please to like, subscribe to our channel and also go over to JD's channel that I Max It Football, and you can like and subscribe to his channel and watch his videos as well. So
Yes, man. People want to stop playing with the likes. Stop playing with the likes of the video.
yes.
Just like the video. Before I leave this stream, let me get to 50 likes. How much you say it's on now?
Yeah, over 30 persons live on stream. So guys, and we don't
If
have
it
those
don't reach to
like,
50, no. If it don't reach to 50, I'm not doing no stream on my channel. It's a waste of time. So if it don't put it to 50, because this is the way we bring more people to my channel, because it's exposure. It's
right.
linking up. So if you
Yeah.
can't do that, make sure you subscribe to the man's channel as well, before me get angry. All right. So everyone who come over here commenting, and I saw you guys, make sure you subscribe. All right. So get the likes up, respect what we're doing because we're talking football. Maybe you're not talking favoritism, like some man come on the stream. Yes.
And and JD, one of our commenters said that I have a problem with the fitness of most of the players in schoolboy football. Do you agree with that?
Wait, Josh. Give me a second. Big up everybody in the comment
No,
section.
no. Let me Josh. I want to answer, but
Wait, no, me have to leave. That's why JD, but just
Oh, yeah,
pass through to leave
I
and
know
go
why.
back.
Come on, I know why he clicks on exactly that
No,
time.
I just came on because I have a question. I may have to
Oh
go
yeah.
back
All
to
right. Ask the
work.
question, Dima, before I go to
So you
Darnell.
can just give me a chance, please.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Thanks. So big up everybody. So my question is, I heard JD talking, and he mentioned, Mona players not being humble. You know what I mean?
I
And
had
some
said
other.
JC as well. So
Me,
why you
but
talk?
oh,
Yeah,
me
he did
ask
not
the
call any
question
name,
back.
but he did not call his school name, Dima.
Just
To be fair to him, he
remember
did
ask
not
my
call the
question,
name.
please. So my question is, what is it with Jamaicans and wanting to be everybody to be humble all the time as a professional athlete? What is this obsession about being humble as an athlete? Why them need to be humble? So that's my question to you, JD. I'm going to listen because I have to run go back to work. That's all I had to ask. All right, big up for this.
Okay, big
All right,
man.
big up Dima.
Not waiting for the rebuttal, but anyways, let me go in science, all right? Because I had talked to Josh earlier on, and we were talking about some of the most educated places on earth and how they soak up information. When you're younger, you tend to can soak up information easier. So from maximum to 21, I think your brain starts to die a little bit earlier, but I think that's the last grasp for you to start taking much more fire in your neurons then basically. So at this age, from 16 to 19, that you're trying to learn football. I think when you put in flamboyancy inside it, it takes away concentration. And if you take away concentration, you cannot grasp anything through that put with your environment. So that's what I meant. I just believe that I've assessed my culture, which I was here for decades. You get me? So I know the culture. I know that we can't multitask majority of the times because we're so invested in a specific thing when we believe it. So if our seller, which is our teacher, sell us a specific brand, we want to believe in that more and want to pull out that a little bit more so it offset our development. So if you can't see what I'm saying on that side, to be more humble, to get more out of the kids because of our culture and who we are as a makeup, I think you have a big problem there. I'm not just trying to limit it to it's the purse itself. I knew when I said it, people would have gotten offended. But when I explained the way, that's the only way to go. You get me? Because we have to be and we have to understand our surrounding and where we are as human beings. And that's what I was putting it to say that if we be more humbler, I think we can learn a little bit more based on the overall situation. That's
And
all
I
I
agree
was
with
saying.
that one. I agree with that 100%. As Fabi Frana said that he that exalts himself shall be abased. So I agree with that Bible scripture, Fabi. Yeah. 100% JD. I understand where you're coming from, and I
Yes, but
agree.
Dima, it's his school, so he's gonna be in his feeling. And you saw Balakar here, you know what time it is from Balakar is here, But continue, big boss, continue.
Yeah, so someone was saying, do you agree that what do you think about the fitness of the players, overall players this season? He said they have not been fit. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's why maybe much teams not gonna. Let me show you why I know a lot of the teams ain't fit. The way Mona plays, if a lot of teams that they played, um, that what marginally fitter, they could have defeated them. Because I think Mona's play much more predicated on fitness rather than the overall abundance of skill set and system over the opponent. Because if you go back to a game which is Camperdown, when all the big striker do is just drop off the left hand side in the wider channels because they normally try to use the three centre backs to flood the centre back area and press in midfield because they want to control the midfield. So he just drop off the left hand side, hold it up, and he has the strength and just bully his way straight back in. And you have a range passer from inside midfield that can beat the oncoming overline press. You understand me? If you had more fitness, you could have kept that up for longer. And remember, Mona just barely came out of that game. You get me? All of these things that I'm telling people, you can go back and just check it yourself and see for yourself. You get me? So I think the fitness plays a big part. All of the better teams in the Manning Cup, even though they are better players, they are much more fitter than the other teams. That's why some of them come off looking a little bit different. So I would say yes, you have a fitness problem in the Manning Cup, and I think over time, when every team start getting the right shine, the better coaching, I think you're going to have it going up. And once that goes up, Jamaica football overall will be massively better.
Okay, guys, and unfortunately, that's it for broadcast, guys. Thank you, JD, for being here. He's very, very
Yes.
knowledgeable. Trust me. We have to have him again. Trust me. Have to have
No,
him. Yeah.
I
We have
don't
to
know
have
when
him more
it's going to be.
often, especially in this World Cup.
No,
We
you
have,
have to give me a long date. You have to give me a long date because
yeah, but we're
I
going to
am
give you
going to.
more time
Yes.
and the dates, right? But we will have you again, especially our upcoming World Cup. Big up JD. You're very knowledgeable. And guys, go over to his um IMAX channel and football channel and like and share. So IMAX it football, right?
Yes, man. Yes,
And
man. I'm
like,
actually
share,
football.
and subscribe to
I
his
do have
channel.
a secondary channel though, which is actually the biggest bigger channel now because that's a Wee Max's one, where in which I do Jamaican contents, but I kind of bring overseas content back to the Jamaicans. So at least they can focus on seeing other teams, and then we can have a better conversation on the IMAX channel. So everything was a plan. And the fans said they want it that way, and it works out very much well. Because the only way we can learn is just to go there and learn. You know?
That's true.
Yes.
And I agree with that. So big up again, JD. Big up everybody. All the persons in our chat, our live viewers. We have a show tonight at 8 p.m. where we discuss some World Cup. We'll look at Brazil later. Brazil squad. So big up JD. Big up to our commenters and viewers.
All right. So guys, please hit the like button, man. Hit the like button
Yeah, hit
and
our
give the
like
like.
button, like and subscribe. So one love, people. See you later at 8 p.m. I think our regular host Levon will be here. So see you guys later.